So if you've ever wondered about riding your bike to the airport, good news, there is technically a cycleway there too. In fact, you can cycle most of the way from the CBD through Evans Bay, through Kilburnie and then Rongotai on a network of lanes. But it's after Rongotai that things get a little bit weird. Firstly, the classic nemesis of Wellington cycleways, the roundabout merge, because we have no idea what to do with them when we get to roundabouts. So we just mash them together. But it's okay because it spits you out the other side back into a dedicated lane. And yes, I know Jeffro, a painted line is not a lane, but I'll let them pass on this one given it's a very quiet sort of dead-end street leading up to the airport runway. And here's where it gets a little bit different than your usual cycleway in that we now get to ride through a tunnel right under the airport runway. Now this is a dedicated pedestrian cycleway tunnel, although I have certainly seen a fair few mopeds take a cheeky shortcut through here. And coming out the other side, the weirdness doesn't really stop because this is where the council just kind of gave up with the good markings. So I'm spat out of a tunnel, I'm on the sort of road / car park area, I want to get to the airport which is kind of dead ahead. Where do I go next? Well, there's a cycleway sign on what is basically a footpath with worn out paint that you can't read. For me, this is not a cycleway, this is a footpath that someone stuck some signage on so they could claim it as such. You know, it has none of the good infrastructure of a proper shared way, nor is it certainly any kind of proper cycleway. You've also got these, which are some quite nasty crossings over 1 and 2 lane roads on a busy traffic area. And I know what you're thinking, Jeffro, you're on a footpath. Hey, that signage there reconfirms it is officially cycleway. I know, it's pretty weird to me as well. You got to watch out up here because there's a busy fuel station and what might be the only Burger King left in Wellington these days. So a demonstration of why footpath cycleways are so bad, suddenly I'm a pedestrian. One of the 2 lanes of cars stopped for me, the other one just kept on rolling because he wasn't paying attention. So where do we come down on this? Well, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for safety because aside from someone trying to run me over, as long as you're going slow and checking all the crossings, it's not particularly unsafe, but it's not quite I would let kids ride at level of safety. Speed, 5 out of 10 because you constantly have to slow down to cross or give way to pedestrians. Usefulness, 7 out of 10, it gets you from the cycle network to the airport and I can't fault that. And value for money, it's excellent, 10 out of 10 because they just repainted some existing pedestrian infrastructure and called it a day. And to round up, you come to the Wellington Airport bike parking lot, which is actually pretty decent. There's even a locky bike system here. All out, I'll give it a 29 out of 40.